The is a moment. A specific, irreversible, terrifying moment that Carl Jung described as the single most important event that can happen in a human life. Not birth, not death, not love. It is the moment you see yourself for the first time. Not the version you perform for the world, not the version you defend in arguments, not the version you describe when someone asks who you are. The real one. The one that has been running your life from the shadows since before you learned to speak. Jung called it the confrontation with the unconscious. And he warned, once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Nothing will ever be the same. If you have never heard of Jung, let me tell you something that his academic biography will never reveal. Jung did not just study the human mind, he descended into it. In 1913, after his break with Sigmund Freud, Jung deliberately induced a state of controlled psychological descent into his own unconscious for 6 years without stopping. He documented everything he encountered in a private illustrated journal, a book so disturbing, so revelatory, that his own family refused to publish it for nearly a century. It was finally released in 2009, The Red Book. In it, Jung encountered figures, forces, and truths about the human psyche that modern psychology still cannot fully explain. And at the center of everything was a discovery so fundamental that it changes every single thing about how you understand yourself, your relationships, and why your life looks exactly the way it does. Jung discovered that the human being is not one person. You are many. Inside you right now, beneath the surface of the identity you present to the world, live entire systems of thought, emotion, and behavior that operate completely independently of your conscious will. Jung called these the complexes, autonomous psychological structures formed in the earliest years of your life through trauma, through conditioning, through the words of people who shaped you before you had the capacity to question them. And here is the part that changes everything. These complexes, these hidden autonomous personalities living inside you, are not passive, they are active. They make decisions for you while you believe you are choosing freely. They sabotage relationships while you wonder why you keep attracting the same person. They destroy financial opportunities while you work harder than anyone around you and cannot understand why nothing accumulates. They create the ceiling you cannot seem to break through, not because of the economy, not because of bad luck, not because you are not smart enough or worthy enough, but because something inside you that you have never looked at directly decided long ago that this is as far as you go. Jung called the sum of everything you have refused to see about yourself the shadow. And he said something most people are not ready to hear. Your shadow is not your enemy. It is the most valuable thing you own. Because everything you buried in your shadow, every quality you rejected, every emotion you suppressed, every version of yourself you were told was wrong, contains the exact energy you need to become who you were always meant to be. The anger you buried, that is your boundary, that is your power, that is the force that will protect what matters most to you. The ambition you suppressed because someone called you arrogant, that is your direction. That is your destiny calling from underground. The part of you that wanted more money, more freedom, more life that you learned to silence because wanting felt dangerous, that is not greed. That is the voice of your unlived life, and it has been waiting. Now, here is where Jung goes somewhere that changes everything. He said the shadow does not just affect your psychology, it affects your reality. Every person, situation, and circumstance that triggers you most violently in the external world every person who enrages you, every situation that feels unfair, every pattern that keeps repeating no matter how hard you try to escape it, is a mirror. A precise, faithful, merciless mirror of something unresolved inside you. Jung called this projection. We do not see people as they are. We see people as we are. We do not experience the world as it is. We experience the world as we are. And this means, and I need you to sit with this, that every external problem you are trying to solve from the outside already has its solution somewhere inside you that you have not yet been willing to look at. Your financial struggle is a projection. Your relationship patterns are a projection. The sense of being stuck, of being overlooked, of being perpetually just out of reach of the life you know you are capable of, all of it is information. Not punishment, not fate, not evidence that you are not enough. Information about what lives inside you that has not yet been seen. And now, the part of Jung's work that almost no one discusses, because it is the most radical idea he ever proposed. Jung believed and documented extensively that the unconscious mind does not exist only inside you, it exists around you. He called it the collective unconscious, a shared psychic field connecting every human being who has ever lived through a common layer of symbols, archetypes, and primal patterns. And within this collective unconscious, Jung found evidence for something the Hermetic traditions had taught for 5,000 years, that consciousness creates reality. Not metaphorically, literally. That the state of your inner world, the unresolved shadows, the buried beliefs, the unexpressed potentials, actively shapes the circumstances that appear in your outer world. Not because the universe is magical, because you are. Because the boundary between what is inside you and what appears outside you is far thinner than anyone ever taught you to believe. Jung wrote in his final years, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." Fate. Think about the last time you used that word. The last time you said, "This is just how my life is. This is just who I am. This is just what happens to me." That was not fate speaking. That was your unconscious, running its program, on schedule, undisturbed. Because you had not yet looked at it directly. But you are looking now. And that's the moment Jung described, the irreversible moment, the moment after which nothing in your life can stay exactly the same, because you have seen something that cannot be unseen. The moment you understand that the life you have been living was not designed by the universe, it was designed by the part of you that has been asleep. And the part of you that is now waking up is asking a different question. Not, why does this keep happening to me? But what inside me has been creating this? That shift from victim to author is the beginning of everything Jung spent his entire life pointing towards. If this reached you today, it was not an accident. Subscribe to Hermetic Mind. Leave one word in the comments. What will never be the same for you after watching this? Because something just shifted, and the awakening always begins exactly where comfort ends. We will see you in the next revelation.